Welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. I'm a psychic medium. We are here to do your guided messages for this month, as well as I am going to be covering weekly energy for your zodiac signs pertaining to romance. So if you do want to have a look at those, please click the bell. Also keep an eye on the community tab where I update you of regular content that has been uploaded. Very separately, we have the Twin Flame Collective Energy that I'll be coming to you monthly with, and feel free to join us for all the super chats. So please sit back, relax, enjoy the channeled messages. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment box directly below, and if you're wanting a booking, the information is within the video. Love and light, guys. Let's get into the read. Leo, welcome back. We are here to do your psychic energy update. I may mention a few references to astrology to help you through the month. Number one, we did just move out of January with the full moon in Leo, which was your first house. So you may feel quite exhausted moving into the month of February. A lovely friend of mine, as well as a sister, said to me, "YILDIZ, please, is it going to get better?" Yes, theoretically, and yes, from a financial point of view also, but it is because we do have Mars currently in Taurus. So, you know, empath energy, your relationship sector set to change. You can feel a bit distorted about that, and this month a lot of those subjects can be coming up. You're going to be reflecting and making peace with a lot of those circumstances. And when it does come to your career field, the people you're relating to, any dramas, it can be, you know, just anything relationship and connection orientated, you can find that it's a reset button. Now, some beautiful things can happen during this time. I have pulled the crystals, I've pulled your chakra energy week by week, and I'm going to channel the energy through them. And I'm also going to talk about love. But separately this month, we do have romance reads week by week, providing Mercury works with me. And there is going to be extension reads. Now, I have pulled a ruin from the book, and I haven't had this one in a while. And ironically enough, it relates to the constellation Leo. So, yes, you're in the midst of your zodiac this month. Got to get the book right. So I have pulled the page open. Now, number one, the beginning of the month, we are having Venus entering Aquarius. We also have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, which for you is your 7th house. It's relationships, it's connections. You also do have a lot of subjects in the first week that can be hard, and it's a little bit like a painting. You might find there's tension, there's restrictions, something's not moving. We're guided to not fight against it, to absorb the information. It's not really the greatest week to implement things until after the 21st. Great time to sell things, but again, keep your receipts if you're doing anything. Now, from a traveling point of view and dealing with these energies, there can be a lot of responsibility and a lot of tension and frustration. So if things aren't flowing and you're not communicating effectively, interestingly enough, it's Mercury orientated energy. And you do have a crystal in reverse. Now the crystal, I'll just let you have a look. This relates to I receive messages all the time and follow my internal guidance system. Now try not to take this month personal. Number one, when it does come to you trusting your intuition and speaking and acting, you may feel very sluggish. Try and balance your lower chakras. The sacral chakra can really fatigue you if you're feeling nonchalant. And if you're just highly unmotivated, because we did have the full moon in Leo, which is purgatory, you can feel very fatigued. So if you are lacking that oomph, listen to music, go out for a walk, get that vibration and that chi energy up. And also from your sacral chakra, any fear-based frequency, agitation, lack of appetite, over appetite, it's going to control it where you can have a bit more oomph to get things done. So the burdens that were there, you're going to reflect upon them. If things haven't been flowing, you're going to reflect upon them. But try to not second guess yourself. Now, during this time, we can have people from the past coming back. We can also have emotional situations relating to, for you, your relationship sector. So let's see what comes up for you guys. Number one, try not to second guess yourself. You can clear your third eye and your throat chakra, because there is Mercury retrograde. If you aren't feeling confident communicating with these individuals, it may be due to Uranus and Taurus, which it does affect our nervous system. So Trust what you're sensing. Maybe you need more information before you're dealing with it. Maybe there has been a lot of triggers and you don't know how that's going to resolve. Mercury retrograde can give you some revelations, and you may find by the 11th of the full moon in new moon in Aquarius, at 23 degrees, it's the critical degree point. You can have some really great things happen on this day. Now, the 6th and the 7th is a trigger day. You can find communication can be a bit choppy. Do a guided meditation. Anchor your energy in. Maybe use the traffic light analogy I talk about, so that you can pause and actually think about what you want to say and how you want to operate. Now, your reading, we do have another crystal that's very much to the end of the month, and it's kind of leaning towards it, which is clear quartz, which is telling me you're going to have clarity by the end of the month. Now, the ruin that you have is this. On the 20, let me check the date. Last but not least, we have a full moon in Virgo on the 27th. But I'll do the week by week energy and we can check that. Okay, so the way you're coming into the month is with this ruin that I just showed you. It looks like an S. It makes the letter pronoun is S. It does relate to eagle. It also relates to lion and Leo. The sun energy, Sunday, yellow and fire. Now, uniquely enough, it might be a collective message as well. I really feel this to be quite synchronistic and I'll document it due to the fact that the metal ox year, which is in 2021, it starts in March, and the number of this year is 5, which is change. Being a metal ox year, we do need to work quite diligently. We need to hold major plans close to our chest, but be careful of our enemies, and work hard, because in layman's terms, if you look at the history of the metal ox, the rat actually bet them on the race. It climbed on the back and it used them. So we're being disconcerting with who we're trusting, with what we're doing. We're assessing it. We're not jumping in the deep end, but we're working diligently and keeping necessary things to ourselves, but not unnecessary things, because we can't control what other people do. But it is relating to Leo, and we just had the full moon in Leo. So there is a new cycle for you beginning, Leo, and this does relate to yellow. Now, from the metal ox, if you want to balance it, both the clear quartz that's coming out for you and yellow can actually create and manifest luck, as well as balance and support with the metal ox, yeah. So think of that and use that where it lands. It may be putting it in your study and things to that degree to amplify that, holding it on you to attract that good energy. So what does this mean for you as I channel your messages? Success, vitality, good fortune, popularity, the higher self, which is Uranus and Taurus, the spiritual will, enlightenment, divine blessings. Now, I feel, if anything, you're second guessing yourself. There could be, sometimes when we experience things on a 3D, we can think, oh my gosh, am I delusional? Is this not working? Why? Is this ever going to get better? That was what my sister said to me. And I was like, yes, it is. Every element of life has the good, the bad. Every element, poor, rich, all experience these things. It has been testing times over the last few years, especially for certain pockets of the collective that were going through an awakening. This, at the moment, I do feel a lot of you are experiencing headaches. It could be over fatigue, adrenal energy, really having a lot of downloads. Keep your fluid intake up to clear your crown chakra. But I do feel, if anything, you sort of know something. You need to learn to trust your intuition more so. Now, I do feel you're moving into that new vibration of Leo, and you're going to be very different moving forward. So people might not know how to take you moving forward through this month. The first week, I do feel there can be some forgiveness. Now, Leo does relate to heart, its strength, its vitality. Sometimes we have given so much we feel depleted. You do need to, in this week, be quite gentle with yourself in the first week of February. Also, you can find that some people are actually coming towards you to apologize. There can be some wishes that you're wanting to make. And again, it's almost like you're rejecting the old and you're wanting the new. You're a bit wary, I feel, some of you, that maybe individuals that are coming towards you have malice intent, and it's like, please trust your intuition. You'll know where not to, where to. And sometimes that can mean, are we over psychoanalyzing a situation. Is it due to a past tense wound, or is it due to a attitude a person's exhibiting? So that's really what's coming through. I think you'll know where to listen to logic and what potentially can be just something that's old that you need to address, to let go of. But I do feel there is this want and this desire for peace. You're also making some wishes, and I do feel for some of you there is actually an element of a wish coming true. And that can be because you see a behavioural change in a circumstance, a situational change, maybe a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Now, ironically, that new moon is occurring on the second week, but you can get blessings within that second week. Now, it's not to say the whole month is chaotic. There can be difficulties. You do tend to find during Mercury retrograde things come towards you faster. This can be people's expectations and needs due to fear-based frequency. So if there is agitation with your loved ones around you, with you individually, and you're needing some quiet time, Mercury retrograde can also be a necessity to not make major judgments right away till after the 21st, but to really sit with it and see what comes up for you personally. Sometimes when we do look at our rising sign, it can really resonate with us, especially when we do get older. So if you know that zodiac sign, go ahead and have a look at it. And if you do want coaching, or you want to really have some more meaning and you're really perplexed, please come through and join us for the updates I do. You always are able to ask a super chat question. So, okay, with this circumstance, it feels like you're wanting a fresh slate. You don't want the toxic energy. There could be a toxic situation that you dealt with. You feel really depleted. You got detox here. It's almost like some of you are working on how do you forgive, how do you let go of a wound, and it's not necessarily that it was condonable with some of these things that happened or it was fair, but it also is taking host, and it could be affecting you. So I think if anything, you're just wanting peace. You're wanting peace, you're wanting calm, you want neutrality, and it's not that we need the world to be perfect, but there potentially could have been a lot that was going on last month, and that's kind of the attitude you're moving into the week with. There could be, from your romantic sphere and from connections, you've got communication in reverse. Now, this can be that the person's physically not talking to you, but the more way it's coming through is, I don't think this person's communicating effectively. Not authentically, effectively. There's a difference. Now, you may have taken offense to something somebody has said. This may have affected you, and I'm kind of feeling you're perplexed. You're like looking at it thinking, why would you say that to me? This can even just be an old memory playing out in your head, but this is the way I'm viewing it. So communication, compassion, understanding, and unfinished business. Now, I do feel it's coming back, but it's sort of like the standpoint you're taking is you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. But I do feel this is revolving and it's coming through, but it's going to be, you're going to have a lot to say. So I don't feel anyone in the first week really wants to mess with Leo, because the fatigue energy, the disconnect, it may be that you can actually not necessarily communicate effectively. So just watch for that. But, you know, these things do come up. It's not, we sort of do say, when we look at astrology, don't do this, don't do that, but it's all natural, it's all divinely guided. So if it does occur, balance the throat chakra, great time to journal, to assess the thoughts and connect with any wounds that are coming up and patterns, maybe some problems that arise during the month, because it will be going retrograde again during the year. It always does 3 times a year. We're used to it. If we didn't know, we'd be none the wiser. But to be in that mode of knowing oneself and being able to really dig deep and see what those things are, you actually do free yourself physically from those circumstances. Now, I do see this person wanting to talk to you. You may need to take the compassionate approach that they may not know how to communicate effectively, so you might have to draw it out of them. This can be making it comfortable so that you allow them to talk, but you could potentially be not really at that threshold to have time for that in the first week. So this could be frustrating you. Now, if this person is not communicating with you, you're wanting more compassion showed to you. That's what I'm kind of sensing. It's like, look, somewhere over the rainbow, really wanting that compassion. You're casting it into the wind relating to the past. But I do feel with the wheel, You're wanting to feel healthier and you want to attract healthy connections. I do feel even when it does come to your work and love, you do love people very freely. And I don't mean freely, how do I put it? I feel you're turning over a leaf, and it's good and bad, but it's more, you could be getting to the point that you feel people aren't earning what you give and they're taking advantage of you. So I think this is going to be a turn of a new leaf. Some of you may just want to let go and let universe deal with it. There is growth, there can be compassion, and I do feel it's healthy boundaries with you. It's out of love you're making some choices. This can be to do with your family, your help. You also, it's not in reverse, which is really good. You know, in the past, you might have felt like you were really gullible. And again, that's not a you issue. That's very much the other person's issue. We do actually gift people in our connections to do the right thing. And when sometimes they don't, we can accidentally take those things personal. And it's not our actions that were the cause of those circumstances. You can't really, I mean, for a child, yes, we can be responsible for that because we're trying to educate and upgrade. But even then, they have their own identity. There can be rules and regulations, so to speak. We're teachers. But within partnerships, so to speak, we actually can't control that. It's their conditioning to address. So please try not to take that personal. I do feel this is changing though. This is a circumstance and a pain body experience coming up. I do feel if you're in this connection, maybe your partner sees that you are a bit stressed and they're trying to be supportive, but they may not be saying they're sensing such. They're following their intuition to a degree. Now, with your contracts and things to that degree, have patience with yourself because I do see that money is settling up. It's coming in, but you may find it can come in by about the second and third week, but you will be proud of yourself by the end of this month because you can see some reprieve, and definitely by the 11th there can be some benefits there. Some of you that are looking for a job or looking to upskill, this can really be moving by about the second week. And again, things can be flowing even though we are in that retrograde effect. But just be patient. Try not to push things and go 20 steps ahead. You will get there, but you're going to find flaws in the system and you'll be able to rectify them as you move forward. Now, I'm seeing in the second week, it's great because there's upright and there's huge planning. There can be events and situations happening quite quickly. It is around the time we are having that new moon in Aquarius. You've got self-confidence, self-worth, co-creative endeavors, getting on board and getting things done. It is in the upright, and even your love interest is in the upright. Now, there can be subjects relating to family, home, and children. Also, new situations that you want to move towards. And I feel you are feeling a sense of purpose. You're very focused on a particular task. 9, 10, and the changes that you need to make. The card breaks down to a 5. So again, you're spreading it. It's going like wildfire. You're spreading yourself. You're getting things done. I do feel there can be a lot of hustle and bustle. Please be careful on the road because although we are having that new moon, we may need to tie up those loose ends to achieve that. So I almost feel, be careful of intimacy. I don't know why it's coming through, but I keep getting the download of fertility. Let me briefly have a look, Leo, at your... well, you've got Aquarius there, so yeah, possibility, but... Sagittarius. Yeah, it's probably more older children, or children if you currently have them. Now, if this is a business venture, which I think there's lots going on, I'm actually seeing work... studying things, but that comes through collectively regardless because we have a lot of downloads at the moment where we're looking at media, learning, we're in that Gemini mode. I see this to be you, some of you are changing your hairdo. I don't know why that's relevant, but I can see an outfit, I can see hairdo, it's like your confidence is coming back. You could be sideswiping things. Now it is upright. I'm also feeling you're socializing more. A lot of people are coming towards you. You're trying to steer clear of any drama, but there can be a lot of responsibilities, but some luck coming relating to creative endeavors. When it does come to your children, you may be seeing more eye to eye on the second week, but it can kind of go backwards by the second, just for a little bit. But again, it will be corrected and things will move forward. But you can be digging into your co-creative endeavors, dealing with children, doing things that are more light, fluffy, and just sharing your love. I really feel you're sharing your love. And I do feel, because you have actually gone through that heavy energy last month, it's actually assisting you a little bit for some reason. But this individual is learning a lesson relating to healthy boundaries. You may have 3 items of good luck coming. This romantic person that you are tuning into or directly with, they are tapping into inner child. It's in the upright. They may have more vitality. They may be doing a lot of things, tying up loose ends, or even directly working with you on these subjects, especially for those of you that are connected. I do feel some of their friends are actually in awe of you. They're quite impressed by the way you handle things. This, to a degree, can sometimes actually make them jealous, but they're actually very proud at a very separate level. They're impressed how you can, how would I say it? At times I feel you underestimate yourself, but they are very impressed by how you handle adversity. They do feel you're really good at multitasking. They also feel at times you can second guess yourself in the midst of, could be dark night of the soul energy, but just overwhelm really. But they're really, in their opinion, the way they're viewing you, they're seeing you as someone who's highly capable. If you're a feminine energy, they see you to be a very emotional orientated person that's very nurturing and loving. And if you're male energy, again, they see you as someone who is a fierce protector and someone who does actually have, those value systems. So it's a viewpoint they're directly taking relating to you. Some of you, I'm actually seeing, I'm gonna pull another card. Which deck should I use? I can see a message coming through. I'll try this one. Oh, this one. I can see 3 people around you. Some of them you're like, nah, stay optimistic. Some of them you're like, no. Yeah, you're doing you, boo. Okay, let's have a look at this. I pulled 3 cards because I'm sensing 3 individuals. One of them you feel you lost hope on. This can be a path or a memory. It doesn't have to be 3 people. It could be 3 times a situational shift happening. But for some reason, I'm seeing 3. The other, I think you quite focus, they could be a little bit egoic. I don't mean to be mean, but that's the way it's coming through. But it's because they're doing inner work. It's not, they feel guilt relating to this. And the third energy, they really, how do I put it? It's really hard to be humble. Not humble, but articulating it in an effective manner. Mercury retrograde. They may not have used their power effectively. They got magician in reverse. It's sort of like the divine magic. I think it's more you. You've kind of gone off it. There's not as much chemistry. And maybe you need something more than just chemistry. Yes, we do need it, but there's something to do with a situation that panned out at a point. Now, if this is the same individual and there were 3 different polarities they took on, 3 different circumstances you're tuning into, you're kind of at that point, you're feeling quite like nothing ever great is going to happen. That's not the way your reading's going, and definitely not from astrology. It's not what's up in the hood with astrology. Even if you have the most diverse situations in front of you, I do really feel you could be pretty popular by mid-month, even moving forward. And even from the beginning of the month, if you're single, you're going to hear from people from the past. Even if it's coming up, yeah, I've had so many people from the past reach out, and it's even friendship groups. These individuals are coming through in your rate. Now, on the third week, and you're trying to do you, that's what I just keep hearing that. I'm doing me, boo. Why? Probably because you've had a gutful. You got a lot of responsibilities. Third week, you're really leveling up. You're connecting in with your responsibilities. But you're getting tired of doing everything, right? It may be all on you for some reason, and you're handling it. You are handling it, but it can be where you're saying, okay, you're not here for me, you're not helping, that's fine. But I don't think you're coming through that way. That's not how it's coming through. I feel you have an action plan. I do feel you may have got very motivated. So you may have more things in control, but you're definitely not allowing everyone to come above you. So you're being responsible for yourself. You're nurturing and loving yourself. It's really a good time to do such by the third week, because we are having the full moon in Virgo, which can be very holistic. Okay, let me see what I've learned through this process. What am I feeling now? Where am I at? So it's a bit like a checkup, right? We're having a checkup. We're having a look at it. In the upright, I feel you could be looking at more calmer things to do, a little bit more meditation, but you have been busy. So you're keeping your eye on your goals, you're addressing the tasks at hand, but you're also not allowing people to take you off your path. So I do feel you're coming through very much like Leo. You're like firm to the point. Healthy boundaries, I do feel, are here. And I do feel some of you are really putting your foot down to do with individuals. Now, your romantic interests, they are starting from the ground up. This is a fresh start for them. There may have been something that they needed to address around Christmas last year. I am seeing between now and July, definitely those circumstances are going to do a 360, but I already feel it's happening now. Now for them, please go through and have a look at their zodiac sign if you are or aren't with them, however it goes. There's something to do with the family-related dynamic coming up, but they're taking steps to get that foundation down packed, and I do feel they're quite firm on it. This could move into the fourth week, but again, it's almost like a recuperation, a healing, maybe a transformation that's happened. They are looking at the reality of what they have to offer. They want to be on firm ground to be able to have this balanced. It's almost like some of them are working at a distance for some of you, and they're coming home, recouping, and getting back on board. So if you haven't talked to this person and they work away or something to that degree, I feel as though they can be very fatigued when they come home, but don't take it personal. I feel it's almost like a soul upgrade. And again, I do see this person to be working quite hard, and those situations, depending on what sort of industry they're in, can be quite tedious during Mercury retrograde. It's quite testing, especially if you're using technology or you're driving or doing something to that degree. Cross wires can come through, and I'm seeing this person to be very fatigued. Let's see what else they want you to know. They're pretty stubborn. I'll say they're stubborn. Some of you may feel they like to do things the hard way. It's quite amusing, really. They're quite an amusing character. They've got Archangel Raphael in reverse. The healing angel was with you, supporting your healing work. They're stubborn. They like to do things alone. They're very strong. Sometimes it can come through that they're not, but this person is very strong. Those of you that are single, have no love interest, I am doing a romance read during the week, so come through and have a look at those. But for those of you interacting or directly tuning into someone, there's a home-related dynamic going on here, family and change in circumstances. There may be a person that wishes to go to that next level with you and move in with you because it's home coming up. Last but not least, before I sum all of this up and get any additional downloads, the last week for some reason seems really interesting, which is kind of odd because we do have the planets direct by this stage, but it is coming through almost like we're needing to pass a test. We're needing to assess these things, get back into balance. Please, for you, make sure that you focus on connections, how you personally feel, not them. It's a one house placement. It's how do I fit into this mix. Soul healing, You would have had higher heart chakra activation, pain body experiences. You can do guided meditation for that. What else am I seeing? And career. So, okay, what you want to do, the work. If you feel overwhelmed by your workload, the things you're handling, shift those responsibilities to where they belong if they're not all yours, and you'll find you'll actually feel more in balance. Also, there can be organisation necessary and time for peaceful, quiet time. Okay, we need quiet time. The 4th week, you do have both these energies in reverse. It's sort of like how we come in, we're kind of going out, but it's because we're letting it go. Whatever happened at the beginning of the month, I do feel if you are thinking back and reflecting, it could be a little bit emotional, but you could be quite tired. You may work extremely hard this month, so it's only natural by the end of this month you are going to feel tired. By this point, you could be second guessing yourself. But again, I just feel it's fatigue due to a lot that has gone on during the month. If you are feeling triggered, and this is weird because the message that's coming through, it's the last week is going to be purely romantic. The reason I'm saying that is because you could have inner child wounds coming up. You could feel quite low, which is quite unique because usually it kind of goes polar opposite. You're really detached. So if you are and you're nonchalant, it's almost like somebody's going to ask for you, Leo. There could be a surprise, but you're needing to say yes to something. But you, if you feel, and I'm not feeling negative about it, I do feel some of you out of nowhere, there's an offer of a very, very deep commitment for some of you. This could be work, but again, I'm feeling for some of you, this is romance. Some of you, yes, it is work. Others of you, it can be an offer out for dinner, a truce wanting to talk to you. This could be via telephone, but I feel it's an offer, and it is quite an important offer. I'm not saying it to be something trivial. This person, if you're single, wants to see you. They want to see where this can go. They also need to talk to you. I do feel they've had a lot of transformation this month and they're in readiness to communicate effectively. If you've been like triggered during the month with one particular individual, I'm still guided to tell you via the cards that I feel this person is ready. That the communication may be from a soul level healing, and to hear them out. You know, you might not be feeling passionate or like great. I'm almost feeling like they're saying, I'll come to you. We don't have to go. It feels they want to meet with you. Okay. They're quite adamant on it. And the funny thing is, kind of makes sense now because the clear quartz are there. You want to move forward, you need the clarity. Okay. So it is say yes. It is the number 8, which is deep, deep connection. You emotionally may not be balanced. You maybe from your co-creative endeavors don't have a lot of energy to give. But this can be healing it, and it can give you a different perspective. So if you need to hear a person out, yes, obviously you're guided to use your intuition. I mean, if they're crazy and they're, no. But from this, it is actually saying this is a high vibe energy. It's transformed, or it has always been. But you're going to get clarity from it. So trust your intuition, go through, see it through, and chuck me a comment. Tell me how it goes. I'll see you during the month. Stay tuned for these messages, and I'll see you during the week. Now, a very punchy update. We do have, as I said, the member zone. Very separately, please click the bell because I will put the info in the community tab when the romance reads are up, and also when I do come to you live for the twin flame, the astrology updates, the moon energies and more. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, we do have the member zone as I mentioned, and it will have in the future, it already has pre-release videos for the zodiacs. Very separately, we also will have the extension reads in there and the twin flame coaching. Also, if you're needing a booking, the link is directly below. Otherwise, feel free to join me for the super chats during the month. I answer your questions at the end of all videos. Love and light, guys. I'll talk to you soon.